Good morning and bore da. Now today is the 1st of March, and in my other video that I've uploaded today I'm telling you a bit about our time in Moldova and introducing a month of recipes from Moldova. But March has 5 Saturdays, so what I decided to do was take this first Saturday and do a little side trip. And we're going back to the UK and very specifically to Wales, because the 1st of March is a very special day, particularly if you're Welsh, because it's St David's Day. It's also special if you happen to be called David, because it means it's your name day, which in many countries in Europe is celebrated pretty much like a second birthday of the year. So we're doing this in celebration of St David's Day, and what we're going to make is Welsh cakes. Very simple, very quick, very easy, very tasty, and probably you'll have most of the ingredients to hand. So I hope one or two of you will scuttle off to your kitchens after this and maybe have a go at making it yourself. We'll see. So what do we need? Well, we need some flour and baking powder, or if you prefer some self-raising flour, in which case you don't need the baking powder, some sugar, some dried fruits. Traditionally in Welsh cakes will be currants. I can't get currants here, but we're using some small seedless raisins, 1 egg, and then we have butter and lard, or you could use all butter if you don't want or can't get lard, but again traditionally it was a 50-50 split between the two, and then some nutmeg and some cinnamon, or just one of them if you haven't got both, whichever, they'll both do, and then possibly a little bit of milk, just a splash of milk you might need while you're making up the dough. So let's see what equipment we need. So very simple, a bowl, a spoon, a knife, chopping board, a rolling pin, a pan for cooking the cakes in, and a pastry cutter, or basically anything round to use to cut out the cakes with. That's all we need. So here I have my bowl with my flour, baking powder, sugar and mixed spices in. I'm just going to give that a bit of a stir around, and then I'm going to add my butter and lard, which has come straight from the fridge, so it's very nice and cold, and I'm going to start blending that in, rubbing that in to the flour, which will take a few minutes, and while I'm doing that we'll do a quick check on the ingredients. So our ingredients today are 225 grams of flour and a teaspoon of baking powder or self-raising flour, 85 grams of sugar, I didn't mention but a pinch of salt into the flour mixture does no harm, a teaspoon of cinnamon or nutmeg or both, 100 grams of fat, so that's either 50-50 butter and lard or all butter, around 75 grams of currants or some kind of dried fruit, 1 egg, and possibly a splash of milk if needed, and that's it. Okay, so now I've got my mixture, which is like breadcrumbs now, so I'm going to add my fruit. As I say, I'm using raisins, should be currants, so what I've done is I've chopped the raisins into currant sized pieces so that they spread nicely within the mixture, and every Welsh cake gets enough currant in it. Mix them all around, and then I just add my egg, and bring the mixture together. And this is where you'll have to see, it depends on your type of flour, your size of egg, whether or not that's enough to bring it all together. If not, just add a little dash of milk to your mix and use your fingers, your hands, to bring it all together into a dough. You don't need to knead it or anything, there's no yeast involved here. Literally just use your fingers, bring all the bits together. And that's basically your mixture done. So what I'll do now is I'll just show you, I'll take a little bit of the mixture out. Put a bit of flour on my board. And then roll it out. As I say, I'm making slightly smaller versions today, but a good indication is the thickness of your little finger. So you just roll it out, then get your pastry cutter like that, and there you have a Welsh cake. So you just carry on doing that. Every time you run out, just put the mixture back together again, roll it out, flatten it out again, and carry on. Okay, that's it. The last stage is in the kitchen, so join me there in a minute. Okay, so here we have our Welsh cakes cut and ready to fry. I'm going to put one in the pan like that, and as you can see there's already one in the pan which has been cooking for a couple of minutes, and they literally only need about 3 minutes each side and they're done. But I'm going to put the rest of mine in the fridge for now because I'm going to cook them off fresh and take them to church service tomorrow because our vicar is David, one of our leading lay members who often leads the service is David. I'm David, so we're going to celebrate St. David's Day, our name day, in company tomorrow. So that's what the rest are for, not just for me. So, as I say, that one's been cooking for 3 minutes. You can see it's gone nicely brown. We'll just cook that for about 3 minutes on the other side as well. And then when they're done, you can serve them not straight out of the pan. They need to cool a little bit, otherwise you'll burn your mouth. But you can serve them hot, or you can serve them room temperature. Don't refrigerate them. The traditional, which we're going to do, is just sprinkle them with a bit of sugar. But you can have them with butter and jam. They're a bit like scones in that way, but sweeter than scones. So, there we are. Welsh cakes. Yaki da.